And you're welcome back. Let's talk about the fight against illegal mining, which has dominated conversations throughout the last 24 hours. As you may indeed know about it, the former chairperson of the Inter-Ministerial Committee and also the former Science and Environment and Technology Minister, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, is criticizing President Akufo-Addo for using what he describes as the wrong approach in fighting illegal mining. The embattled chairperson of the defunct Inter-Ministerial Committee against illegal mining says he feels victimized by the Office of the Special Prosecutor over the latter's decision to place him under arrest. This is happening at a time when he decided to go all out by naming and shaming government officials and top politicians allegedly engaged in illegal mining. With less than 24 hours to government's Green Ghana Day set aside to plant trees and also to protect the forests, JoyNews checks reveal active mining is destroying key forest reserves, including the Etiwa Forest Reserve. Just take a look.
Of illegal mining is making their lives miserable.
Because at any time. I feel so you could for my union and top water first and so the animal not a water crying because he won't if you for a cinema a could for my near son. This time I want to show a union soon, soon I put a When I feel, you could my first into money help, but I'm not into my baha. Come on, oh, that it was talk a cry, and then when some Mariano, a chichi a mano, keke.
So Matilda Asante is essentially saying that they used to go to farm and drink water in the farm, but because of illegal mining they are unable to do that because all the water bodies surrounding them in their farms have been distracted by the illegal mining. Again, those illegal miners, they dig the pits and they do not cover it, and so sometimes people can mistakenly fall into those pits. And so anytime she's going to the farm with her children, she's always uncomfortable.
Mine in a Galamsey na on season. Say Galamsey, Nishamu can I say ye na and she
Emmanuel Achianotebi, also resident of Segyemase, laments that all efforts to get government's attention to the problem has yielded no result.
The cause of the problem, why we are not being able to uproot what is going on, is because of the powerful people behind this operation. You see, you arrest them and the next thing you hear is that they have been released. Nothing happens to them. 2014, 2015, there was an operation here and they arrested several, about 500, more than 500, seized over 11 excavators. That was packed at the as assembly. Before we realized all the excavators were gone, and the reason is that somebody comes in with a letter from the seat of government or from a powerful place, and then the MCE or whoever is in charge had nothing to do than to release them.
Chief of the area, Berima Okopim Botu Dankwa I, is worried his people are not benefiting from the legal mining but are mostly affected in terms of health.
Small diseases, rashes, even formerly in my community, you don't have mosquito there. Mosquito. But now, don't try. All because the trees and then the lines, they have destroyed everything. And it's very painful. It's very painful. And they don't know that the ancestors, it's true, it's a land God created. But I'm telling you, there's a spirit on it. Recently, a lot of people have died. Nicodemously, then they pick the person and bury him up. Of course, they're angry.
CEO of the Center for Social Impact Studies, Richard Elema, says the country's biggest casualty ever has been that of our forest reserves. For him, sustainable mining and preventing the use of cyanide are key to dealing with the problems that confront us. Aishi Ibrahim, JoyNews, Etiwa Forest.
Well, and that's the level of destruction taking place within the Etiwa enclave. And based on this evidence, we're asking that question: is President Akufo-Addo committed to the fight against illegal mining? Here's what Professor Frimpong Boateng had to say.
Let me ask you this, and I know you are frank. Let's talk about solutions.
Yes.
Do you believe the president is really committed to ending illegal mining?
Maybe committed, but choosing the wrong methods.
Okay.
I'm not saying, yeah, he says it. If he says he's committed, I cannot disprove it. But then if we look at the methods that are being, employed, people are doing whatever they like, then it's not likely that this illegal mining will stop.
So what method?
And I'm not expecting this thing to improve.
Why?
Because honestly, even in the best of times, when the economy was good, people were doing illegal mining. Okay? And there's somewhere in the Ashanti region whose wealth is based on mining.
In a time of economic crisis?
No, even the best of times. That is so. Economic crisis, next year will be election year, people need money to campaign and so on. I don't expect that this thing will stop anytime soon. At least not until after there's a new government. I don't know the strategy that the new government will employ, but in the best of times, people dependent upon this for their livelihood and other things. And now we are in election year,
Election season is here.
Election season, people need money. And so, and the way the economy is, what are you going to do farming to get money, or what are you going to do? Yeah. This report, the original manuscript was about 120 pages. But I had to remove a lot of things and so on, and just give a flavor of what was happening.
So this is a watered-down version?
Yes.
I shudder to think what was in the real version.
Well, I can still pull it out.
You want to give me a copy?
No. What I'm saying is that I'm not. I didn't work on it, but if I want to expand it and work on it, to show maybe more pictures, pictures of people doing this, doing that, and so on.
So you have more evidence?
Of course.
Of people in your government involved in this?
Yes.
But why did you give the chief of staff a watered-down version?
No, it's not a watered-down version. This is concise. This is a concise version. Well, it's tough, but not even my family. The close family don't understand. I mean, we've gone through a lot, from Germany, coming here to set up the cardio center, the problems that we went, horrible things. If I've written 2 books, I'll give you copies. We go and read. Then you understand. The one is deep down my heart, the history of cardiothoracic surgery in Ghana. The other one is Taming a Monster. If you read it, this is child play. What is happening here? So what I'm saying is that for my close family, it's tough, but we can endure it because they understand. But friends outside, even this evening, some people say, "Oh, my heart! I was frightened. This." A lot of people, not only in Ghana, but calling from America, from Germany, and so on, worried that I've been arrested, and some of them have fallen sick. Somebody in America nearly landed in the emergency room.
When he heard that you may have been arrested.
Yes. So for those here, my close family, they understand. They have been conditioned, they are not that allergic to some of these things. But close friends who are far away, who are, hold you dear, when they hear these things, it's hard on them. And that's what worries me. Not my immediate family. They are tough. I think on the 13th or 14th of May, I received a letter from the special prosecutor to appear before him. I should report at 10 a.m. on the 16th of May, which I did. The letter said that they were investigating corruption and corruption-related activities of the IMCIM. I was a little bit disturbed.
And ICIM is Inter-Ministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining.
Yes. I thought that they were going to talk about how to stop Galamsey and all these things. But anyway, so I went there and waited at the lobby. When my lawyer was in, we were ushered to the 7th floor where the office of the special prosecutor was. I was ushered into a room, given a seat, and next to me, on my right, were my lawyers, and opposite me was the senior or the principal investigator. I think that was the title, and some officers from that office. So as soon as I sat down, the chief investigator walked over to me, put his left hand on my shoulder and said, "You are under arrest." I said, "Why am I under arrest? What are my charges?" Well, no specific charges, but we are investigating corruption and corruption-related activities of the IMCIM, that is the committee I chaired. And he asked whether I was ready to answer some questions. I said, well, I'll do my best to answer the questions. So I was asked a lot of questions. Took about 2 hours, or a little bit over 2 hours. And after that, I was told that I had to be bailed before I'll be released. I was not offered the opportunity of self-recognizance bail. So a friend of mine was at the lobby, so he came up and bailed me, and I left. And I was told that if the need arose, I'll be invited back to the office. If prosecuting from Paul Boateng and all these things will solve the problems in this country, look at all the bad things that have gone on. Look at all the corruption that is going on everywhere. And if this is the only thing that bothers whoever wants to investigate, fine. I'm saying that life is not static. At some point, somebody will be at the opposite end, also receiving the same treatment. So is it the most important thing to worry any investigator? I'm not saying that if I've done something wrong, I should be let loose. No. But looking at what I've done, for this country, as I say, I'm not an angel, and I know there are many wrong things that are going on now. If it is the only thing that worries Ghanaians and those in authority, when I'm saying authority, I'm not talking about the Jubilee House, but those who have the power to do things. People who don't have any political power or something, but they are very powerful. Just how they want to do it, so be it. Let them go ahead.
After these shocking revelations, a lot is happening and unfolding as far as the story is concerned. Meanwhile, the secretary to Professor Frimpong Boateng's Inter-Ministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining, Charles Bissiou, is the latest to join the fray. He's heading to court once again over the decision by the special prosecutor to probe the Inter-Ministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining. Let me bring in our legal affairs correspondent, Joseph Akaple, who has details of what's happening right now. Joe, let's start off with this attempt by the OSP to probe matters relating to the Inter-Ministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining. What do we know, first of all?
Fresh information we are picking from our sources indicates that there's an arrest warrant for Charles Bissiou that was secured by the special prosecutor. Now, the background to this is that that the special prosecutor has since 2022 been investigating Charles Bissiou relative to that documentary that was put out by Anas Arabia Anas. Now, that investigation is concluded, and just when he was about filing charges in court against Charles Bissiou. Charles Bissiou sued him at the High Court, alleging various human rights violations, among others. I mean, that matter is still pending in the courts. The courts have not dealt with it. Now, in May, specifically on 3rd May, Charles Bissiou was written to by the special prosecutor, informing him that they consider him as a person of interest because of investigations they undertaking relative to the activities of the IMCIM. On the 18th of May, so the 3rd May, when he was written to, he was asked to appear before the special prosecutor on 22nd May. Now, on the 18th of May, lawyers for Charles Bissiou wrote to the special prosecutor asking that he reschedules the 22nd May meeting to the 25th of May because of the domestic emergency that he had. And so they wanted that rescheduled. Now, we are told that the SP did not agree to that arrangement and insisted that he appears on the 22nd of May. Then lawyers for Charles Bissiou decided to proceed to court and that they were not going to be available on that Monday. And so the OSP also proceeded to secure an arrest warrant from the court to effect the arrest of Charles Bissiou. And just before they had, just right after securing that, then this latest writ that we'll be discussing shortly has also been filed by Charles Bissiou against the office of the special prosecutor. And so what we know in sum is that...
Blair, if you can hear me, this is not the first time Charles Bissiou is doing this. He's been to court seeking to stop probing to the issues at the Interministerial Committee at the time. His claim was that the previous special prosecutor, Martin Amidu, had conducted some investigation into the matter, and that even the special prosecutor himself has issues of conflict of interest and all of that bordering on this case. What's the new relief in this one that we are learning of?
Yes, and so you are right on those ones that you made reference to. Those ones had to do with that documentary that was published by Anas. You recall the individuals who had secretly gone to the IMCIM offices and they had filmed Charles Bissiou, among others. So that is in respect of that investigation. This latest suit has to do with the ongoing investigation that involves Professor Frimpong Boateng, the one that we are told more than 300 million cedis has been spent by the IMCIM buying drones, gold nuggets that were seized, missing excavators, among other things. So it is this latest probe that the OSP is trying to engage Charles Bissiou on, just like they did in the case of Professor Frimpong Boateng. And so when they were not getting his cooperation for him to appear before the special prosecutor, then the special prosecutor now secures a court order, and even before they could enforce that, Charles Bissiou has now headed to court again. And so one of the reliefs they are asking is for the court to set aside the arrest warrant that has been secured by the special prosecutor to effect his arrest. They again raising issues about the fact that the special prosecutor has refused to make available to them what they believe should be the source documents for any such investigation. And so they contend that as far as they are concerned, if he intends to investigate anyone, there must either be a complaint or a referral from some agency or the other. They are asking for that document to enable them know, so that when they are appearing before him, they know what they are appearing before him for. And they make the point again that in terms of the probe that has been undertaken by the special prosecutor relative to Charles Bissiou, they believe that his rights have been violated, and so they are seeking the intervention of the courts.
Anyway, interesting dynamics there. Joseph Akaple, our legal affairs correspondent, giving us the latest on what it is that Charles Bissiou has been asking the court to do.